He has been key to the operation and leadership of this General Assembly since the time he's been here, and as we've had this transition. He has been a key player. Doesn't preside in any constitutional office, has not chaired a committee, does not have a leadership title, except he's the extraordinary member of the Rules Committee. And he has been an extraordinary member of the Rules Committee. I think he's taught all of us that you better read the rule book if you want to be successful up here. But there's some things we can remember about the senator from Boone. When you say a pledge to the flag, remember it was the Senator Boone who brought that tradition from the House. When you attend an open conference committee meeting, remember it's because the Senator Boone's first motion every time we came into session was to open the meetings. And the majority party finally got so tired of it, they opened their conference committees, and then they opened their caucus committees. Another thing that I don't think people realize is how much effort and work and toil that he has put in to what we're doing. With not asking for credit, usually not getting credit, and very often being criticized. I can't tell you the time that I've left here with him in his office, pouring through the budget, reading through the bills. He drove our staff nuts in the last general session because every bill that came through was reviewed carefully and scrutinized. The senator from Jefferson 35 has said something to me this morning about how the assistance that we've provided as the minority party working together this time. Well, a lot of that assistance came from the work of the senator from Boone, as he has painstakingly tried to ensure that this process worked the way it should. And just a couple of brief examples. The workers' compensation bill, which was an extremely complicated and important effort. And as I met in this little leadership team the governor put together, I'd be carrying information in to all of these experts that the governor had arrayed and been working for months developing this bill. And I'd say, did you all realize that you just took out the partial or temporary disability and as you prepared this? And they were all just, oh, we didn't do that. Well, yes, you did. Check this line, this page. And I would bring in day after day pages of information about imperfections in their bills. And the chief consultant working on that one day shook his head and he said, who have you got working on this thing? You have really got a detail man. And I said, well, Senator from Boone. That's who's doing it. The education debate. Big public policy issue, a lot of debate, the governor really pushing hard, our caucus resisting some of the things that the governor wanted to do. And we fought tooth and nail the whole way, but on the last day of the education, special session on the education reform, when we went into the final conference committee and they were haggling out all the last few changes they had to make, they showed up with a 15-page amendment to their bill. And it contained all the details that we'd been bringing in through the whole process as we'd gone through and said, well, look, we don't like your bill, but by the way, here's some things you need to do to improve it. And that bill, despite the fact that we were engaged in a philosophical battle, came out better because of the effort of the Senator of Boone. I think the co-chairs of the Education Committee here will say that if the curious reform in Senate Bill 53 has any chance of succeeding, it's going to be because the vehicle upon which it was developed was Senate Bill 243, which was developed from the strategy offered by the senator from Boone. I could go on quite some time. There's a lot of people who have remarked about the relationship between me and Senator Boone. As the Senator of Cumberland has said, that in this process you make friends and then you make lifelong companions and real friends. When you go into battle together, you do develop a relationship and respect for each other that you can't find any other way. All of you know that when we're not in the session, a lot of times we're involved in politics, and there was a time in the last election cycle when we had to send a staff person to stand by the senator from Boone and shake him to keep him awake as he performed the work that he was doing 48 hours straight without any rest to ensure that we accomplished the objective we had under extraordinary circumstances. That's the kind of individual he has been. That's why I've said he's the kind of individual, if you have to go into battle, that's the type of person you want to have go into battle with you.